obesity with nutrition education.
So, welcome, Chef Ashley.
Hi.
I'm here with Faith and Fitness, and we just had a few questions for you today. Just to get to know a little bit more about you and to let our readers know more about you and what you are doing in Atlanta. First off, what does Choices stand for, and why is it so important for families today?
So CHOICES stands for the Center Helping Obesity in Children End Successfully, and it was founded in 2002. And we are here to combat childhood obesity through nutrition education and food insecurity.
Nice. Okay. So, a little bit about me. I'm a second grade teacher, and I see a wide range of food. Our school also provides some lunches, but we do have students bring in lunches for breakfast, and some students will pack lunches. Paint a picture for me, I guess, of what food challenges that children are facing, whether it is not very healthy food choices, or maybe they just don't have access to food.
One, a lot of families are dependent on school reduced or free lunch for kids. Or two, they're bringing things in that are prepackaged a lot of times, such as those, meat and cheese and cracker combos, or it's a lot of prepackaged cookies, applesauce, maybe a piece of fresh fruit. And so a lot of times the kids are getting loaded up on carbs, loaded up on sugar, and then they go back to the classroom and they crash. So here at Choices, we're trying to show our families how to make a healthier school lunch that can last a little bit longer, give the kids energy. So making sure they have protein, making sure it's colorful with like carrots and hummus, or like a vegetable wrap that we've shown. We like to make sure our families that if they are food insecure, they can get those things through Choices and they can make a healthy meal with those items. A lot of times kids say school lunch is not as tasty and flavorful. So mom and dad say, okay, we're going to give you, I've seen where even in some schools, the kids are door dashing or Uber Eatsing if they can afford to, because they want to eat something that tastes better. So showing the families how to make those resources and make school lunch at home taste good and taste fun, and it'd be fun and creative to where the kids are not being teased. Also, that's one of the issues. A lot of times kids might feel uncomfortable with what they're having in their lunchbox because they might get teased from other classmates. So a lot of times there's a lot of things that go into play with school lunch and the school lunch system. But we want to make sure kids, again, are eating plenty of vegetables and fruits, they're eating whole grains, and they're eating their protein.
Being a teacher, definitely have a firsthand view of just problems that kids face. I will see kids who just desperately want to pack a lunch to sometimes like fit in with their peers, and they will pack just like sometimes it's just chips and candy.
Yeah.
Just so they can have a lunch. So that's really cool that you guys are doing that. I actually have today with me a few lunch choices that I will see frequently. And I wanted to know if you could compare and contrast some things that would be, the unhealthy version, and what is a substitute that a parent could pack or a child could pack instead. So first off, I have potato chips, and I definitely see this in probably almost every lunch that is packed.
A few substitutions would be some chickpea chips. We actually gave those out at our last pantry this weekend. Even like a fruit chip or dehydrated fruit. You could do pretzels, or even a baked chip would be a great option. So those are some good slows and woes. Our potato chips are our woes. We like to teach that into our families. Treating food like a stoplight system. So if you look at the food as a stoplight, the chips are the woe or the red item. If you wanted a slow, go for like a baked chip. Or if you wanted to go, it would be some type of like a vegetable substitution. So like a chickpea chip, but we want to make sure, again, we watch the salt and the sodium for those items.
Nice. What about pepperoni slices?
All right, so pepperoni slices. Those are our woe. If you want to go slow, go with a turkey pepperoni, because again, those pork pepperoni have a lot of sodium and a lot of nitrates. So we want to try to make sure we stay from that. If you want to go, even doing like some sliced chicken breasts, grazing boards or charcuterie boards or snack boxes are really cool right now. So I see a lot of that being substituted. So doing like chicken strips, or doing a turkey pepperoni, or just even a simple roasted turkey will help you with those choices.
Okay. I also have a couple of snacks. I have a brownie and gummies.
Okay, so those are again our woes. So For our slows, I would do like there's some natural fruit snacks per se that would be like a little bit better. And then for a goat, it would be a fresh piece of fruit. So doing, instead of you want strawberry gummies, you do strawberries. For that brownie, let's try to maybe do some whole grain animal crackers or that sweet treat, or even just a simple piece of dark chocolate. I know kids are like chocolate, dark, maybe not. But if not, then go for a fresh fruit, piece of fruit. I like also, right now I've seen them in stores, are the chocolate dipped strawberries and banana slices. That would be a nice sweet treat for them, just to have one or two pieces, just to kind of blend it in to the meal. Or you can even do the dehydrated. I saw some true fruit snacks that have the dehydrated chocolate dipped strawberries. That's giving them some fruit, giving them a little sugar, and it's a nice balanced meal.
Yeah, my kids love true fruit, so that's a I love that. Okay, last one is a fruit punch.
All right, so I like to serve all of our kids. We teach at Choices. 99% of the time they're with us, they're drinking water. So giving them at least an 8-ounce bottle of water, that starts hydration. That will help bring their focus. A lot of times kids might get cranky because they're dehydrated. So we want to make sure they're drinking enough water. So having a water bottle in the classroom with them throughout the day, we know that causes, helps them keep focus if they're like, and also just make sure they're staying hydrated. That's the most important thing, especially during right now. It's still summer. Some kids are going back to school now, and it's still warm, and we want to make sure they're having hydration.
Okay. All right. So now that we've covered lunch, what are some nutritious and delicious meals that parents and kids can make together at home, maybe for breakfast or for dinner, or maybe some things that they can pack in their lunch for the next day?
So yeah, so for breakfast, I like to show them like I want kids to be able to be independent also, especially our like second through middle schoolers and high schoolers. They can start become independent. So you can start doing like a breakfast parfait where moms and dads will start packaging the yogurt in containers, and then the kids can have sliced or dehydrated strawberries, strawberries that might be in the freezer, you thaw them out overnight. Meal prep on Sunday so that breakfast is easy throughout the week, or making like egg muffins in a cup, like with some roasted vegetables such as broccoli, spinach, onion, bell pepper, a little fat cheese. Put those and bake those in like egg muffin cups. And then you can put those in the freezer, you pop in the microwave for 90 seconds. And that's a quick breakfast. It's high protein. It's going to give them some nutrients. It's going to start them having a serving of vegetables. And so they're going to be able to have, be energized. I try to stay away from cereal as much as possible, unless it has less than 9 grams of sugar. So that means no frosted flakes. You might be able to do some type of Cheerio grain. We want to stay with whole grains because that's going to fill them up. But also we know that's not going to keep them full, especially with kids going into school. They're used to having their summer stomachs right now, we tease. So we want to make sure that they can have a nice, fulfilling breakfast, but also know that that's going to last them until lunchtime. So, teaching these kids independence is great. Our kids here that come to Choices can work in the kitchen almost independently by themselves, making a breakfast meal. Dinner is a little more complicated because they have to start using the stove and the oven. So mom and dad have to help them do that. But there's a lot of meal prep ideas that they can do ahead of time so that it's maybe just, okay, the night before we're going to chop up all our vegetables. We're going to put this in the pan. And then we come home from school, you're going to take this off the fridge so it can get room temp. And then when I get home, I'm going to put it in the oven to bake it for 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Rice bakes are awesome. I like to put like different types of vegetables, zucchini, squash, bell pepper, onion, mushrooms, some rice, some olive oil, garlic, some aromatics such as some herbs and seasoning. Put some aluminum foil on top of that with our chicken. And then you bake that in the oven. It's going to all become a one-pot meal. Spaghetti is great. Tacos, I like to do our hidden veggie tacos, which have zucchini and sweet potato and squash shredded into the taco meat for them. And that again gives them lots of color, lots of rainbow, but also they still have Taco Tuesday per se. So the families are here at Choices get a lot of helpful tips through our social media and our YouTube channel so that they can find out more cooking recipes throughout the year. And you can find some of those recipes also on our YouTube channel.
Wonderful. In addition to just including kids in participating in making their lunches and other meals, how do you get kids just excited and actually enjoying that process?
So it's one thing I like to do with the kids is make sure they're doing part of the process. So if I have a bell pepper that needs to be cut, I'm going to show them how to properly cut that bell pepper here in the kitchen so they can practice it at home. We have like a house technique where we have the 4 walls and then we have the roof in the basement where we use comfortable knives for kids. My kids who are like in 2nd and 3rd grade start with a paring knife. My older kids who are in middle school, in like 5th and 6th grade, they can use like chef's knives. But we want to make sure that they're comfortable with using it first. We teach them knife safety when they come into the kitchen, so they understand, okay, I can't talk when I'm cutting. I'm watching what I'm doing. I'm not distracted, those type of things, so that the kids can focus on what they're doing.
From your point of view, how do you think our family faith can make an impact on helping families and kids feel less stressed and combat like peer pressure? Like, how do you connect that faith element in addition to their food element as a total just healthy lifestyle?
So again, going back to 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20, thinking about your body as a temple, and being able to show families, like we have a lot of kids who are overweight. You tell them they didn't gain in a day, you're not going to lose them one day. Giving those kids confidence and hope is a motivation. Also, we know that mental health plays into some of the weight gain and things like that. So making sure that the families understand that there's a support system here, making sure that families know, especially mom and dads, they sometimes, kids have other issues such as being bullied, that causes, them to emotionally eat. So we want to make sure that the whole family feels comfortable being here and that we are a motivation and support system for them.
How do you feel the family can rely more on Christ, strengthen itself in today's culture, and achieve all that God has intended for them?
So here at Choices, I am a Christian, and I am a believer, but some of our families are not. They have other faiths and religions they are believers in. And so overall, I just give a welcoming atmosphere, showing the love of God to everyone that comes in through our doors into our kitchen, making sure everyone feels welcome no matter what their belief is.
I loved hearing how you engage all of the students that walk in your door and how you teach them not only healthy food choices, but how to prepare those things and how you are welcoming and a light to anybody who comes into your door. In the future, we would like to look at how you're preparing holiday meals and things like that and what all goes into that and making healthy choices for those different occasions.
For sure, yes. We have a continuous education base, and even now we have on our YouTube channel some healthier Thanksgiving meals. We do a big Thanksgiving food distribution every year where we serve about 2,500 to 3,000 families here in the city of Atlanta with Thanksgiving meals that they go home and cook and learn how to cook healthier. So yes, definitely with the average Thanksgiving plate being over 2,000 calories for Thanksgiving that we consume in that one day, we love to teach families more about how to eat a healthier, less calorie dense meal.
Thank you so much for just being here today and sharing everything that you have to offer and everything that you're doing. It was really enjoyable. So thank you for that time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.